If you're over 60 and eating these three vegetables, you could be aging yourself faster than you realize. I learned this the hard way, watching my own grandmother suffer from relentless joint pain year after year, all while eating the very foods her doctors told her were healthy. But what I discovered later changed everything I believed about senior nutrition. Please, stay with me until the end. The third vegetable I'll reveal is likely sitting in your kitchen right now, and it's quietly draining your energy day by day. The truth is, you haven't been told the full story. For decades, we've been told to eat more vegetables. Fill your plate with color, they said. Leafy greens are the key to longevity. But here's what they don't tell you. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 years old doesn't work the same way it did when you were 30. Not even close. In fact, the very vegetables that once nourished your body may now be working against you. After my grandmother passed away, despite doing everything right, I made it my mission to find out why. She ate clean, followed every dietary rule, took her supplements, but she still battled inflammation, joint pain, and fatigue. So I spent 2 years diving deep into the science of aging and nutrition. Here's what I discovered. As we age, our digestive systems change dramatically. We produce less stomach acid, our gut bacteria shifts, our ability to process certain plant compounds diminishes, and that's where the hidden danger lies. Enemy number one, tomatoes and other nightshades. I know, it sounds crazy. Tomatoes are everywhere, in your pasta, your soups, your salads. But here's the problem. Tomatoes contain solanine and other glycoalkaloids, compounds that in younger bodies are usually handled just fine. But in aging bodies, these compounds begin to accumulate. Your liver isn't detoxifying like it used to. These alkaloids can build up in your joints, triggering inflammation, stiffness, and pain. Ever notice your arthritis flares up after Italian night? Start tracking your meals. You might be surprised. It gets worse. Tomatoes are also acidic, and as we age, our ability to balance acid and base weakens. To neutralize that acidity, your body has to pull minerals from somewhere, and that somewhere is your bones and muscles. Yes, every time you sip that comforting bowl of tomato soup, your body may be pulling calcium from your bones and magnesium from your muscles, leaving you weaker over time. A doctor once casually mentioned to me that many of his elderly arthritis patients ate tomatoes regularly. But I never tell them to stop, he said. The research isn't conclusive. Maybe the research isn't, but the pattern is. Enemy number two, raw spinach. This one was the hardest to accept. Spinach has always had a health halo, strong, lean, clean. Popeye swore by it, but for seniors, especially raw spinach, it can be silently damaging. Here's why. Spinach is loaded with oxalates, compounds that can form crystals in the body. When you're young, your kidneys can usually eliminate them. But as you age, kidney function starts to decline. And when oxalates build up, they can lodge in your joints, causing pain, contribute to kidney stones, block the absorption of minerals like calcium and iron. Worse, the symptoms don't seem unusual. Joint pain, brain fog, fatigue, digestive issues. You go to your doctor and they say, it's just part of getting older. Meanwhile, you're eating your spinach salad every day, thinking you're helping yourself. But these oxalate crystals, they go far beyond joint pain. They can interfere with your mitochondria, the very engines that power your cells. That means less cellular energy, less vitality. And slowly, you feel yourself declining, even though you're doing everything right. So that afternoon crash you've been blaming on age, it might not be age at all. It might be your so-called healthy spinach habit. I decided to test this theory myself. I asked 12 seniors in my local community to completely eliminate raw spinach from their diets for 6 weeks. The results were eye-opening. 11 out of 12 reported noticeable improvements in their joint pain and energy levels. The 12th? They quietly admitted they hadn't followed the challenge. Now, I'm not claiming this is a scientific study, but when you see real people getting real results, it makes you think. Enemy number 3, bell peppers, especially red, yellow, and orange. Yes, I know. This one hurts. They look beautiful. They're loaded with so-called antioxidants, and they've been recommended for decades as a must-have in a healthy diet. But for seniors, bell peppers come with hidden dangers that few people talk about. First, bell peppers are part of the nightshade family, just like tomatoes, which means they contain the same problematic alkaloids that can contribute to joint inflammation and stiffness in aging bodies. But there's another issue, and it's a big one. Bell peppers consistently rank among the most pesticide-contaminated vegetables on the market. The Environmental Working Group lists them on its dirty dozen, year after year. Why does this matter more if you're over 60? Because as you age, your liver's ability to detoxify slows down. The same chemical exposure that a 30-year-old might flush out easily can accumulate in the body of a 70-year-old, especially in fatty tissues like the brain. And over time, that buildup can contribute to brain fog and memory decline, hormonal imbalances, systemic inflammation. Even organic bell peppers aren't entirely innocent. They're high in lectins, a plant protein that many aging guts become increasingly sensitive to. As your intestinal lining gets thinner and more permeable with age, lectins can cause bloating, digestive discomfort, joint inflammation, overall fatigue. I learned this firsthand while caring for my 82-year-old neighbor. She prided herself on healthy eating, bell peppers in her salads, stir-fries and snacks. But she was constantly complaining about bloating and joint stiffness. We removed the bell peppers. 3 weeks later, her digestion had improved dramatically, and her mobility was noticeably better. Ancient wisdom, forgotten science. What fascinates me is this: traditional cultures already knew all of this. Chinese medicine has long taught that foods must be matched to a person's stage of life. Ayurveda teaches that as we age, our digestive fire weakens, and we need warmer, more nourishing foods to stay balanced. But in the Western world, we lost that wisdom. Instead, we pushed one-size-fits-all dietary guidelines that might work for a healthy 35-year-old, but do real damage to a 70-year-old body. In Chinese medicine, cold, raw foods like spinach salads and raw peppers are considered too cooling and dampening for senior systems. They recommend warm, cooked foods that support digestion, circulation, and vitality. That's not primitive thinking. That's sophisticated, time-tested understanding of how the body changes as we age. Now let's talk about healing, because just as there are vegetables that age you faster, there are also vegetables that can restore your energy, reduce your pain, and even help you feel younger. Healer number 1, ginger root. Yes, it's technically a vegetable, and it's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods seniors can eat. Unlike the vegetables I warned you about, ginger actually becomes more effective as we age. Why? Because it stimulates digestion, improves circulation, fights chronic inflammation directly. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols, which not only reduce inflammation, but may also help repair joint tissue. While most painkillers just cover up the problem, ginger supports your body's natural ability to heal, and the circulation benefits are crucial. As we age, blood flow to our joints, muscles, and organs slows. Ginger helps reverse that, warming the body from the inside and sending oxygen and nutrients to where they're needed most. I recommend fresh ginger root, not powdered. Steep it in hot water for tea, grate it into soups and stews. Juice a small piece in your morning drink. Start small, about a 1/4-inch slice per day. Ginger is potent. Healer number 2. Sweet potato. This one might just change how you think about energy and carbohydrates. Most seniors are told to fear carbs, to cut back for the sake of blood sugar and weight. But in reality, that advice can be counterproductive for older adults. Your brain and muscles still need glucose, and sweet potatoes provide it in the perfect form. Here's why sweet potatoes are different. They contain complex carbs that digest slowly. Their fiber helps prevent blood sugar spikes, and they deliver steady, sustained energy. Not only do they fuel your brain, especially important for memory and mood, they also support your muscles, joints, and gut health. Sweet potato continued, a nutritional powerhouse for seniors. Sweet potatoes are more than just a comfort food. They're a healing food, especially for aging bodies. They're rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, crucial for eye health, immune function, skin integrity, all areas where seniors often begin to struggle. They're also packed with potassium, which supports heart health and helps prevent the muscle cramps and spasms that plague many older adults. But here's what makes sweet potatoes really special. They're one of the few vegetables that become more nutritious when cooked. Cooking breaks down their tough cell walls, making the nutrients more bioavailable, easier to absorb for your aging digestive system. That's the opposite of many vegetables, which lose nutrients when cooked. I suggest roasting them whole with the skin on. The skin adds extra fiber and gut-supporting nutrients. Eat them warm, not cold. Warm food aids digestion and boosts circulation, something every senior body benefits from. Many seniors who include a serving of warm sweet potato in their main meal report more stable energy throughout the day, with fewer crashes and more clarity. Third healing vegetable, fermented cabbage, sauerkraut or kimchi. Now, this one might surprise you. You've probably heard that raw cabbage can cause gas or bloating, and for many seniors that's true. But fermented cabbage is a completely different story. Whether it's sauerkraut or the spicier Korean version, kimchi, fermentation transforms cabbage from hard-to-digest roughage into a gut-healing superfood. Here's why. The fermentation process pre-digests the cabbage, breaking down tough plant compounds and creating beneficial probiotics in the process. As we age, the population of good bacteria in our gut declines naturally, leading to digestive issues, weakened immunity, mood disturbances. Fermented cabbage helps rebuild that balance. Its probiotics not only improve digestion, they help regulate inflammation throughout the entire body. There's growing evidence that your gut and joints are connected. When your gut microbiome is balanced, systemic inflammation drops, and joint pain often decreases right along with it. Fermented cabbage also contains vitamin K2, a nutrient many seniors are lacking. But here's the key. K2 doesn't just strengthen bones, it guides calcium to the right places, into bones, not arteries. Without K2, calcium supplements can backfire. You end up with osteoporosis and arterial calcification, a dangerous combination. So how do you get the real benefits? Choose naturally fermented sauerkraut or kimchi, not the pasteurized versions sitting on the dry grocery shelf. Look for options that are refrigerated and labeled with live cultures. Even better, learn to make your own. It's easier than you think. Start with just a tablespoon or two per day and let your system adjust. Many seniors report reduced bloating, better regularity, and even clearer thinking within weeks. Energy transformation. What your life could feel like. Let me paint you a picture of what your energy could look like with just a few smart dietary shifts. Imagine waking up in the morning and actually feeling rested, not stiff, not foggy, not dragging. Imagine moving through your day without that afternoon crash that's become all too familiar. And imagine having enough vitality in the evening to enjoy your hobbies, play with grandkids, or go for a walk, instead of collapsing in front of the television. This isn't fantasy. This is what happens when you align your food with your body's changing needs instead of working against them. Inflammation begins to calm down, joints start to move more freely. Digestion improves, sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. And the benefits don't stop with your body. When your system isn't constantly battling inflammation, your mind clears up. That mental fog you thought was just normal aging. Often, it fades dramatically. Even your mood stabilizes because gut health directly affects your brain's chemistry. Many seniors tell me they feel like they've gained years of life back. They pick up hobbies again, they travel, they laugh more, they connect more deeply. This isn't just about adding years to your life, though that's a nice bonus. It's about adding life to your years. One final word, prepare for pushback. Now, I want to prepare you for something. If you bring this information to your doctor, you might encounter resistance. Not because your doctor doesn't care, but because nutritional education in medical school is extremely limited, and the system is designed to treat illness, not prevent it. Many physicians will say that all vegetables are healthy, or that the differences I'm describing are too minor to matter. They may argue that the antioxidants in tomatoes or the vitamins in bell peppers outweigh any potential negatives. This is where you have to trust your own body. Your lived experience is often more reliable than generic medical advice designed for the average 35-year-old patient. I'm not suggesting you ignore your doctor or stop taking medications. I'm saying, listen to your body. How do you feel after eating certain foods? What improves when you eliminate others? What patterns emerge when you truly pay attention? The medical establishment is slow to catch up, but your body already knows what it needs. Honor that wisdom. Start with awareness. Your body is talking. Listen. Start by paying attention to how food truly affects you. Keep a simple food diary for a few weeks. Track your energy levels, joint discomfort, sleep quality, digestion. You may start to notice patterns that surprise you. Foods you once thought were harmless might be quietly draining your vitality. This awareness is where real transformation begins. A deeper pattern, aging isn't the enemy, misinformation. Is this conversation about vegetables and inflammation is part of something bigger? We've been taught, conditioned, to see aging as an automatic decline, to believe that growing older means growing sicker, weaker, and more dependent. But that's not true. Not everywhere. In many parts of the world, there are people in their 80s and 90s who are still sharp, active, and full of life. What's their secret? It's not genetics, it's lifestyle, especially dietary choices that evolve as their bodies evolve. The vegetables I've suggested reducing aren't bad. They may be perfectly fine for a 30-year-old, but eating the same way at 70 as you did at 30 is like trying to fit into the same clothes you wore decades ago. Your body has changed, your nutrition should too. And that's not limiting, it's liberating. It means you have real control over how you age. Small food changes can yield profound results. Social pressure, respecting your needs without apology. Here's a challenge many seniors face: social pressure. Family members might raise an eyebrow when you pass on the tomato sauce. Friends might tease you for avoiding the spinach salad. Someone might say, "It's just a little, come on, live a little." Here's the truth: you don't owe anyone an explanation for taking care of yourself. You're not being dramatic, you're being wise. You can politely say, "Certain vegetables increase my joint pain. I've found that raw greens don't sit well with me anymore." No need for a lecture about oxalates or alkaloids. And if you want support, seek out like-minded communities, whether in person or online. Find people who are also choosing better health over social convenience. The economic reality. Health on a budget. Let's talk finances, because I understand many seniors are on fixed incomes. Here's the good news: eating for healing can actually save you money over time. Ginger root is affordable and lasts a long time. Sweet potatoes are one of the most nutrient-dense, budget-friendly foods on the planet. Homemade sauerkraut costs just pennies and can last for weeks. But beyond grocery savings, the real value is long-term. Fewer doctor visits, less money spent on pain relievers, potential reduction in prescriptions. When you eat foods that reduce inflammation, you often eat less overall because your body is satisfied, nourished, and stable. So yes, eating better might cost a little more up front, but the savings in suffering and medication are priceless. Your future self is waiting. Take a moment and picture yourself 5 years from now. Do you want to be facing more joint pain, less mobility, lower energy? Or do you want to be someone who said, "Not me, I'm writing a new story for my aging years"? That story starts with your next meal. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start small. Remove one inflammatory vegetable this week, add one healing one next week. Let your body guide you. You'll feel the difference. Remember, aging is inevitable. Decline is not. Every bite you take is either supporting your healing or feeding your inflammation. There's no neutral food. Every choice matters. The final truth: this isn't normal aging. Here's the real reason most seniors continue eating foods that hurt them. They've been told and believed that feeling this way is just part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if the joint pain, fatigue, bloating, and brain fog aren't normal aging? What if they're simply the result of eating foods your body can no longer process efficiently? The most powerful realization you can have is this: you have more control over how you feel than you've been led to believe. That food sitting in your kitchen right now, it's either helping you age with vitality or accelerating your decline. The choice is yours. And the time to choose is now. Your body has carried you through decades. It deserves nourishment that honors its present needs, not habits from 30 years ago. You deserve to feel energetic, comfortable, clear-minded. That's not a fantasy. It's the natural outcome of aligning your food with your body's current wisdom. So ask yourself, can I afford not to make these changes? Every meal matters. Every choice is a step toward healing or toward decline. Choose wisely. Choose with love. Choose with the understanding that how you age is in your hands, starting with what's on your plate.